thinking it out loud. But I love those days when there's no one else around. I can feel your heart close to mine. In the night, my sleep talking about you with me. I could die just thinking about you when you're not with me. Oh, this time you fill my head and all my daydreams of you. In the night, my sleep talking about you with me. I could die just thinking about you when you're not with me. Oh, this time you fill my head and all my daydreams of you. Talking about you with me. I could die just thinking about you when you're not with me. Oh, this time you fill my head and all my daydreams of you. In the night, I sleep talking about you with me. I could die just thinking about you when you're not with me. Oh, this time you fill my head and all my daydreams of you.
Destroy my ears. It's going out to everybody. Destroy my ears. It's going out to everybody.
Can't get enough.
To another flow.
What you want?
Tell me where to go, what to do.
To another flow.
What you want?
Show me the signs. Show me the signs.
Get it poppin', put it.
Tell me where to go, what to do.
Get it poppin', put it You gonna know my name. You gonna know my name. You gonna know my name. My name, my name, my name, my name. Let's rewind.
Y'all motherfuckers ain't ready. I told y'all I was gonna change the game.
You got that.
Y'all motherfuckers ain't ready.
You gonna know my name. My name, my name, my name, my name, my name, my name. You gonna know my name. My name, 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 my name. Let's rewind. You gonna know my name.
Bring it back, rewind it. Bring it back, bring it back.
Let's rewind. You gonna know my name.
Bring it back, rewind it. Bring it back, bring it back.
Let's rewind. You gonna know my name.
Bring it back, rewind it. Bring it back, bring it back.
Let's rewind.
Bring it back, rewind it. Bring it back, bring it back. You got that. Bring it back, rewind it.
Let's rewind.
Y'all motherfuckers ain't ready. I told y'all I was gonna change the game. Y'all motherfuckers ain't ready.
You gonna know my name. My name, my name, my name, my name, my name, my name.
You got that.
You gonna know my name. My name, 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 my name. Let's rewind. Run it up, run it up. Run it up, run it up. You gonna know my name. My name. Let's rewind. Run it up, run it up. Run it up, run it up. You gonna know my name. My name. Let's rewind. You gonna know my name. Let's rewind.
You feel me? Yeah. You feel me? Nah, that's real. Let's keep it all West Coast, cause I feel like we cats don't show us the love out here. Dago, putting on for the town. Tell me about it.
All right. Spo, thank you for the follow yesterday. Much appreciated. We're at 656 followers on Twitch now. Pretty freaking cool, must say.
I love him so much.
Just waiting for Paul to hop in, and then we're gonna get started. Okay, let me adjust this. You two relax. God bless the dogs, man.
I love him so much.
No dunking on TL here. I promise you that much. Just not sure if Paul is alive or not. Should be. Nope, he's coming. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
There he is. Fall in the toilet?
yeah, pretty much.
Way to go. How you been?
Oh, pretty good.
That's today.
I'm
Today's
in-
not a hat day. Hair's kind of wet.
Davenport, Iowa.
Safe from the. I mean, I'm assuming that's far enough, like up into the west, that you're not getting hit with all that much from the storm. Maybe some wind, but that's about it.
We're not even gonna get hit in Indy.
Oh damn.
I mean, I think that storm is mainly moving just through Florida.
It is. I just wasn't sure if like the tailwinds as it whips
Oh,
around
yeah.
would like send anything up towards the Midwest at all.
My guess is it will next week.
Hmm.
Which sucks because I gotta work in Chicago next weekend.
Well, it shouldn't be next.
Kinda
week now.
worried.
The storm should be pretty much done by like 3 days from now,
Okay, then that's good.
because it's like cutting across Florida, so it's just gonna go out into the Atlantic afterwards. It's
Yeah,
not gonna
that's
have
what I
any like
figured.
residual effects going up north.
Yeah, I have a uncle who everyone offered him to come home. Well, he lived in Indiana for like 20 years, moved to Florida with his wife. And we were like, bro, you can stay at any house here. And he was like, he lives on the Atlantic side. And he was like, I'm fine. He lives near like Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah, he's
He was
fine
like-
then.
I'm fine. And we were like, but he's like, we're only projected to get like 3 feet of water and we won't get that. It'll dissipate by then. And I'm like, bro, like, why actually though? Why bother messing around with that much water?
I mean, to be fair, 3 feet of water, if you're at least somewhat of an elevated position, is fine. It like
Yeah.
sure you can't drive around, but as long as you have shit to like live in your home, you're fine. It's like those
Yeah,
nine
it's just-
9 feet storm surges and the 180-mile-per-hour winds that can really fuck you up.
Yeah, and I mean, I was telling him, I was like, bro, it's just 3 feet of water until all of a sudden it isn't. I was like, and it's Florida, bruh. Like, it's the one place that's like below sea level. Like,
I mean, have you been following the Lieutenant Dan saga?
yeah, people are gambling on if he'll live or not.
That's I shouldn't be laughing at that. That's obviously terrible, but I've thoroughly enjoyed all the Lieutenant Dan updates. I just like
Yeah.
what choices did he make in life to the point where like God told him to buy a boat and just live on the boat in Tampa?
No clue, but staying in it kind of. I really think he'll die. Like, honestly,
I don't think he will. I think there's so many eyeballs on him that the second something goes just a little bit wrong, somebody will be there to save him. If it was anybody else, like literally any other person that wasn't going viral, that didn't have like thousands of people asking for updates at all hours, like, then yeah, I'd be worried. But because he's got a ton of eyes, like even if it does, like you get those 180-mile-per-hour gusts, shit starts like really getting bad. There's people on like luxury high rises that have views of his boat that will see something happening to it as it happens. So he should be
that was
fine.
a poor time to bite into my beef stick. My bad.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I just love that the internet can meme anything.
Yeah, I wish. I mean, the thing is, him and like most people, hopefully they'll be fine. I mean, that's what you're hoping. It's just crazy to me that people are like actually like staying there. Like I know hurricanes, like it might not be a huge deal, but it could. And I feel like I would be out of there so fast, bro. If they told me that much water's coming, and some people are stuck because they couldn't get gas. But if they told me that much water's coming, bro, I am out.
I mean, it all
Not in
depends. Like,
Florida,
there's
bro.
different evacuation zones for different areas. If I look at it this way, if the
Yeah.
governor doesn't tell me that I need to evacuate, like if it's like an optional thing,
That's true.
like I would have Emily and the two dogs, and you're sitting in dead stop traffic for 10 hours, give or take, which you might get stuck on the highway if you run out of gas. Like,
Yeah.
where are you gonna go unless you have family? Like, I don't have any family in that area. Like, I'd have to
Yeah.
drive all the way up to PA, and that's not happening. You're not gonna be able to get a hotel because every hotel on the East Coast is gonna be booked out. All the gas
True.
stations are gonna be out of gas. Like, at some point, you have to make a financial decision to just say, I'm gonna hunker down and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's
Yeah.
the part that a lot of people miss on this is like the financial repercussions. It's like, it sounds great in theory just to leave, but like not everybody has the ability to.
No, yeah, that's what I mean with gas and like.
Yeah.
I mean, gas is kind of the, I guess, great financial
Probably, yeah.
equalizer there. But it's like, I just don't know. If I heard about it, bro, I'd be so nervous. Like the only problem is Florida. It's like a lot of water comes with alligators that you just
I
can't
saw
see.
Disney World had an alligator in it this morning, apparently.
Did it?
I guess.
No, there was a meme going around that there was a croc in alligator. It was a croc,
Oh, okay.
like the shoe.
Oh,
And it
okay.
was at the end of Splash Mountain, so everyone kept saying there's a croc in Disney World. But it was I feel bad for those people. Like also I was telling Sam this is gonna be interesting because this many different places in America getting hit this hard, like houses legitimately wiped out, is like I'm kind of curious what's gonna happen with the insurance industry.
Oh, yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff going on in that realm of the
A
world.
lot of shady shit's gonna be happening, guaranteed.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
A lot of people gonna get screwed out of deals. They thought they had
Because they're
protection
not
on
gonna go
everything.
bankrupt.
Nope. No, they are not. They'll find
They
a
will
way to
not.
protect their money.
Yeah, and if they can't, somebody will.
Yep.
Whether it's us or whatever.
I don't.
Somebody's paying for them
don't-
to survive.
I don't even want to think about it. Oh God.
Yeah, I mean obviously that's doomer like
Yeah.
mentality, and it'll all end up being fine because anytime anything goes wrong in America, we have the most beautiful method in the world of going, we're gonna just make more money, and if anybody tells us no, we're just gonna show them our navy again.
Well, that's- I
which is our go-to strategy.
I remember. I think it was on TikTok like 2 days ago, and somebody was talking about like that Chase Money Bank glitch that people were doing for a bit, like the dumbasses that thought that they could
Mhm.
make money by.
Yeah.
Somebody made a TikTok as like. There's by all means there are certain people that you can get away with tomfoolery and you can fuck around with and like be perfectly fine. The dude that literally bailed America out during war in JP Morgan himself. He literally gave the government money when we needed it. You think that's the guy you want to fuck with? He's got everybody in his pocket. That bank has everybody in their fucking pocket. You think you want to mess with them? Absolutely not. Pick your battles. That's not the one. Ugh. The dream of being a young homeowner in Florida is over. Well, I mean,
Man,
technically,
another bad. I had 2 bad beef stick bites in a row. My timing is terrible with these beef stick bites. But I keep
we need
eating
to get a
cheese
beef.
at the right
We
time.
need to get a beef stick sponsor, alright, and then just have
We
awkward
do.
bites.
Yeah. I'm chewing the cheese at the right times. It's just the beef sticks. I'm getting crushed. But yeah, I really think the banks will be probably pretty fine. They're gonna chill.
Yep.
I'm just I'm nervous for how it all affects. Obviously, like the us type people, like the people in this position, because I'm like, oh, if insurance companies are getting railed down there, I mean, especially for them too. I'm worried for everyone down there because it might be impossible to get it from here on out.
Oh yeah,
Like,
100%. My mom was
I don't
telling
even know
me
how you could.
they pretty much cut any options that you have if you live along the coastline nowadays. Because she was looking at property
Yeah,
when
I mean,
they bought
yeah.
down in Myrtle Beach, she was gonna buy in Florida as what, or like Florida instead of Myrtle Beach, and she looked into the insurance of it all, and she's like, I couldn't get protection for anywhere near a reasonable price in Florida, and
Mhm.
she's like, I'm not doing like absolutely not. Like no, that can't happen.
Yeah.
So South Carolina was a lot better with their options of just making sure the house is insured for hurricanes, for any sort of like natural disaster, flooding, etc.
Yeah.
Colin, hope your uncle stays safe and is okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's like they're not gonna insure all that. I mean,
No.
because at this point they're getting hit so often, like they're probably done with it. Like it's a dead zone for them.
Yep.
And then like the only places that are gonna survive down there are the what is it, the tourist areas
Yeah.
basically, because those can't go under. Like Disney will rebuild housing complexes before they will let Orlando fall apart.
Well, that's what I think. It's
They
like,
will-
okay, you stop insuring people at a certain point, like somebody has to step in, no? Because like if
yeah.
nobody's able to insure their houses down there, home ownership is going to plummet. People are going to stop buying, and you're going to need to find a like.
Mhm.
There's no amount of like reduced rate that people are going to look at and be like, yeah, I feel comfortable with this, given the amount of shit that's happening in the world with climate change. Like you cannot.
Ron.
I mean, he's got
Ron's gonna make an insurance company called Ron's Insurance.
and gouge the shit out of
That's it.
everybody.
Yep. And you know who's
Claims
gonna
will
pay
take
for it?
Mexico.
Disney. We're gonna make Disney pay for it. We're gonna make Ron's Insurance.
The worst part is you could probably give the claims department to Disney and they'd pay out quicker than anybody else in the world could.
Oh yeah. They would. I mean, they had Reedy Creek humming until Florida was like, "We're taking it back," and they took it back, and Reedy Creek's just falling apart. I read their right after they took it back, it ended up getting fixed, but the firefighters like instantly protested because they were losing all their benefits, and it was like, brother, just leave it alone.
Yep. Fighting a losing battle.
But yeah, I don't know what you do down there. I mean, I don't know who insurance insures what or how people rebuild those houses. I don't even know if they want to rebuild houses there if they feel safe. Like, I mean, because this is kind of a crazy year. They've been hit twice.
Yeah. And it's not gonna like you might get like a 2 or 3 year break, but like after that,
Yeah, at this point, it seems like it's going to be casually,
yeah.
like slowly eroding Florida.
I mean, you might not have this severity of a storm every year, but like you will
Mhm.
have storms consistently. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
But on a positive note,
Somebody,
no, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, somebody wants us all to quit going to Florida. I don't know who, but somebody. That Lieutenant Dan guy's number one on my list. I think he's going into the ocean and just stirring it up. I don't know how he's doing it, but he worries me.
There ain't no way. There ain't no.
He's a
fucking way.
psyop. He's 100% a psyop.
You're saying he's a Russian agent?
Yes.
World War III,
Has to be.
World War III started because Lieutenant Dan was stirring up shit in the ocean.
Yes. He goes to the middle and he on his boat and he just spins it in a circle until it really builds up a nice little whirlpool. And then that becomes a hurricane and then blah 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 blah. And then he comes back and he goes, "Oh, look, I'm just a poor guy in a boat."
There's a wild conspiracy theory you got going on here.
Yeah, it's probably not true, but gotta theorize something. It's not like Worlds is going too well.
I mean,
It's
I'm
going
having
about
fun
what
with
we
it.
you would expect.
I'm having
True.
fun with it. C9's trying to roast shit. I'm here to clap
Yeah,
back.
they are.
Dude, they just make it too easy. They make it
They
too.
do.
And the worst, what is the worst part? I saw their tweet about like TL and FlyQuest at Worlds, and I started making a clapback, being like, you know, just in case. I don't know if anything's gonna happen. I'm just gonna start working on this just in case. Somebody in the replies like mentions about where like 100 Thieves and C9 at me. I was ready within 30 seconds of them adding me to just quote retweet and do it. It was great. I loved it. Living rent free in their heads. And I was ready to clap back. That was fun.
I mean, it's they've been doing good socials in the sense of like they're trying to keep relevant during Worlds even though they're not there. But it has been hilarious just reading them like still try to do the same old roasting system while not being at Worlds. Like you kind of do got to change it up. You can't just keep throwing fastballs when people are just knocking them out of the park. And they're like, "Hey, you're all a bunch of losers. You need us." And people are like, "You can't even make it."
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, you think
Like,
back to 2020, which is the last time that they missed Worlds, and they were able to do
Mhm.
that effectively well. Like, it was like, oh, no C9,
yeah,
no C9 piss poor Worlds, and like nobody got out of group stage, nobody was performing well, and like everything was
yep,
was going to shit, and people were just like, freaking out. So C9 was able to come in and do this, but it's like now you've had a few years of piss poor performances. In addition
yeah,
to that, you're trying to do the same thing, and you finally have somebody on the other side and me that ain't gonna put up with your shit anymore and can actually clap back. TL and FlyQuest might not say anything. 100 of these main
yep,
account might not say anything. But the fact that you know in your head that when you post something like that, that I'm lurking and ready, now you
yep.
gotta clock yourself. Now you gotta watch. Although I'm setting myself up to put my shoe in my mouth the second that C9 beats 100 Thieves the next time. It's gonna be bad.
I mean, it is really funny too. I mean, they're doing a good job because all of this is working. At the end of the day, it's getting clicks, and you're getting your clicks. It's paying off. But
Team Liquid's
they're
getting clicks. Their
true.
their YouTube content, draw reactions, doing great. It's been fun watching TL. Have you seen
Yeah,
the
like
the coach drama, all that shit?
yeah. I saw all of it. I typed a bunch of stuff in the Discord about it. That was so troll.
Yeah,
I mean, people actually being mad about it. I know they're all drowned out by now.
yeah.
So
You can't
there's
even
not
see it
really
now because
anybody
now it
left.
just looks like everybody's raging for no reason, which is
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's gotten to that point. But it was crazy for a little bit there, reading people going like, "What is happening? Why is he being such a jerk to him?" And it was like, okay, I don't really get what's going on. This
No.
is how sports works.
You just gotta introduce the newbies. I will say this because I didn't want to say it on Twitter because I didn't want to start a war, but I feel perfectly comfortable saying it here. That's a result of all that K-pop fandom shit that people were trying to push for years.
True.
That's exactly what that is. Like the K-pop groups are not used to like the worst part is if K-pop fans saw how hard their like celebrities and like pop stars were rode behind the scenes to like be the best that they can be both vocally, dancing, everything else, they would realize that sports fans arguably have it easier and like athletes have it easier in terms of like the lashings that they get. But like because
Yeah.
K-pop refuses to acknowledge the ugly side of its industry, there's just like everything's picture perfect and rosy. Look at our superstars. We're gonna hype them up and be nothing but positive. And it's like, no, I'm just gonna like my sister's fiance is a Phillies fan. If you think that I'm not gonna talk shit, rub it in, and he's not gonna cuss out every single person on that team tonight, you're out of your mind. Like, he's pissed. Everybody's pissed. The clip of Nick Saban that went viral last year. Do you remember that audio that was like, no, damn it, do it again?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I need to find this now and play it for people. But dude, like sports coaching, it's like that. You need to have that reinforcement.
No, you do. And it's by the way, I knew when you started a K-pop rant, that was my best beef stick bite so far. But just subtle brag, but they those K-pop fans coming in were like, it's a different breed because it's like you said, they kind of ignore the grinding that goes on and the expectations that are put on the people until honestly it's way too late, and usually they need like some 30 for 30 but for music people documentary to come out. I mean, the music
I mean,
industry
they
is
did. They had the Cat's Eye group and like how it was formed on the Netflix thing.
true.
And now they have like a
True.
top 10
And
song, but you got to like see the inner workings of like the grinding and the stress of like them coming out.
yeah.
But people won't acknowledge like how bad that can be. But
Mhm.
by the way, I found
And
the
it's
audio for those
oh.
Now, Terrell, run the route again. Damn it, it's cut. You don't have anybody to flat. And I'm going to tell you what, if I had a barometer up your ass to say whether you were giving effort or not, it was about 50%. Now, who made that choice? Every individual guy here.
He's mad at Coach Kiffin because they had a fumble, and that's
like
I mean, that's just how it goes.
dude, I love that shit.
Watch Kirby Smart on a sideline. Like, you think Georgia makes a 30-point comeback in the fourth quarter alone and almost beats Bama in Tuscaloosa because Kirby Smart at halftime went, we're a good group of guys. I just like hanging out with you all. Can I say I'm happy to be here with you? That's not how a comeback starts, buddy. He went in there and
something broke.
oh yeah, and it was just him yelling at his coordinators. He was like, I'm going to kill all of you. Like, I'm going to murder all of you before we leave. Usually, like, luckily for college players, they don't have to eat the brunt. It's the coaches who eat the brunt of the damage. So that is lucky for them, unless you're just a psycho like who's it, Hugh Freeze. That's why he sucks so bad. He loves yelling at players. But most college kids are saved by the coaches yelling at the other coaches or the coordinators.
Yep.
And there's really none of that though in league. Like, you don't have a coordinator. Who are you going to yell at? Your analyst who does a very specific thing that you're not really mad at because you're mad at the whole macro of the game. Like, that's a completely different thing.
Quad ints on Sendra, and DeMonte's just getting a fucking earful from Nuke Duck behind the scenes. Why the fuck is he doing this? I thought you knew how to coach your fucking mid laners. You got Palafox out of Swiss stage. Why the fuck can't you get Quad doing it? That's what I'd love to see that clip go viral.
Yeah, which Mithy's never gonna do that.
Nope.
Like, ever. So it's just not gonna happen. But Spawn, like, and the Liquid guys, this is their second year in a row. So there's a lot of pressure already built up there. They're all very comfortable together. And they're just pushing as hard as you can. And when you're doing that, there's gonna be stuff that comes off as yelling and upset. I mean, that's just that
Even then, that was
environment,
tame.
as much as people. Oh yeah, totally. It legitimately just sounded like a conversation between a coach and a player. And I get CoreJJ didn't look engaged, but he was more than likely taking it all in and like deciding what he actually wanted to listen to and what he didn't want to. And Spawn was doing a classic ranting everything out there, putting everything out that you like think is a problem, and then the other person gives you the actual things that they can fix.
Yep.
And that's just how it works. But yeah,
I
I mean, it felt very military style in that sense.
I mean, it didn't. I could tell he wasn't fully pissed. He was mad, but he wasn't fully pissed. Because if he was, he would have dropped the C word. Because he's Australian. That's like using the word bitch in English.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
okay.
that's normal. But I'm not gonna say it here
Yeah.
because I'll demonetize the video real quick. But like, yeah, like if he was really mad, that would have came out fluently, and they probably wouldn't have posted the clip. But that was tame. But I don't know. How you feeling about TL going into this week?
Ooh. I feel kind of nervous. I mean, I want to say they can beat GAM.
Yeah,
They
I
should
think they're
beat
too low,
GAM.
Gam. I don't even think it's
The
close.
thing is, GAM is not like the softball pitch I want them to be. Like, GAM does have some really good styles and things they do. And Impact isn't playing well, and unfortunately, GAM's best player right now is their top laner. so that is punishable in a sense. Like if he can get growing, if Kiaya can, but I think it should be fine. If TL plays the way TL plays, I think TL at their highest form is better than Gam by a long shot.
Yeah. They just got to get back to fundamentals. Like what
Yeah,
we
they do.
saw in that final game or that final series was just like it wasn't burnout, but it was just like they clearly were too in their heads and just not playing fluid League of Legends. And
Mhm.
I fully expect over the next 3 days to them, like when they hit the Rift next, to just look night and day different. I'm going to
Yeah.
call it now. I think it's a 2-0 clean sweep of GAM, and it doesn't even look close.
Interesting. Just full beatdown.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like we crushed the ever living shit out of them, and then it becomes a question of who we draw for the 2-2. Like that's purely it. And at this point, with BLG possibly making a substitution, give me BLG at this point.
Are they putting in June?
It looks like it. Yeah. I mean, we'll
Okay.
see what. No, we'll see Saturday for that one. So I don't know.
Who's BLG play? PSG?
Yeah.
That's a stomp.
They'll
That's a
stomp them
stomp.
easy. Yeah. I think both of those series are just gonna not be close at all.
Yeah, no.
The fun one's gonna be
No.
Fnatic. I would love to see Fnatic
Well,
try and keep it close, but I don't see a world where they do.
fun is a word, but I think it's just gonna be a stomp.
I mean, watching Fnatic lose is fun. No,
I guess. I always feel bad for them.
I don't.
Like at this point I just feel bad. They collapse so poorly. It's insane.
They're just not set up for international success.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's a tough world. Like the West is the two top teams are looking good, and that's a good feeling. I think G2 and T1 is like one of the more interesting things that we're gonna get to watch.
Do you think they stand a chance?
G2, yeah. Yeah, they stand a chance.
Do you think
I
they'll
think
win?
yeah, I actually do. I think they
Ooh.
match up T1 really well. Like the only TL or T1 style is to try to out macro you and try to out lane you. And usually they try to get owner to be the one, or not owner, my bad, Zeus to be the one out laning. But I don't think Broken Blade's like a guy who you can just get a massive CS lead on unless like they're making him save the bottom lane like they did in that Yon Yasuo game, where they kept pulling him down to help guide the team in.
Yep.
But if they're not doing that and they're just having him match another guy like hands on hands, I think Broken Blade's fine.
I
Go
would
and
personally
Zay.
say, if we're talking like top 3 players of the tournament so far for me, I think it's Knight 1 and BB 2. Chovy 3.
Who's 3?
I think BB's been putting up games. Like the thing is, like Chovy is like consistently performing well. I'm not saying that he's not, but like BB is overperforming what we normally expect of him on international or at international events.
Why Knight? You're just thinking the rest of BLG's collapsing.
Or sorry,
so
not
bad?
Knight. Fucking Jesus Christ. What's his name? Who's the LNG Scout? Sorry,
Oh, Scout.
wrong,
Okay,
wrong
yeah,
person.
yeah.
My bad. My bad.
Yeah, the guy you tried to cope tell me.
Yeah. Hey,
He could
well,
be a
no.
little delayed.
Look back on it. Look back on it. TL had a 4K lead on them,
True.
and they're out 3-0 in the group,
It's true.
and probably look like the strongest team in the tournament right now.
Yeah,
and
they
we
just blew
nearly
that so
fucking
bad.
had them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, TL gets hot. We've seen what the ceiling can be. If they can
I like
learn to
what you
press the
did also.
buttons.
You did your favorite thing. You said Chovy's definitely third best, so you could just not say Pays again and keep pushing the narrative. He sucks.
It's not that he
You
sucks. He's just not
love
top 3.
hating on
He's not top
Pays.
3.
You
Genji's not winning this tournament.
and everybody else in the world loves saying he's just on a good team.
No, I think Pays is the best ADC in the world.
He's pretty nice with it.
But he's not top
nice.
3 player in the tournament right now.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, that's a very fair statement. He's not.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not going to deny that he's good. Like, he's obviously the best ADC
Yeah.
in the tournament. But at the same time, he's not a top 3 player. And I'm fine with that.
You know, thinking about ADCs is making me think it is kind of wild. LCS's most bright spot is 2 homegrown ADCs right now.
Has it not always been, though? Isn't that the NA Classic?
Yeah, Sneaky.
Sneaky double lift.
Yeah, Doublelift, did he ever really do Worlds well?
No, that's the only thing that he didn't do well was double lift kept falling off at international performances. I mean, he'd have moments.
know he
but,
had
like,
that
was
good
never,
MSI.
He was never able to like fully see it through, and obviously it's too early to tell with Yawn and Masu, given that it's their first
Yeah.
year. But yeah, he has performed well at Worlds. His team was heavy. I'm trying to think. Were there any Worlds where double lift was like truly stand out? Danny, absolutely not. I don't think double lift ever performed all that well at Worlds, if we're being honest.
I don't know Worlds roster he had that wasn't decent.
Yeah, like 2020
He did
TSM
struggle on as well.
was the only
Yeah,
one that
they
I would
were-
say they weren't decent. But even then, like he was ass.
He was the problem though. Like he was majorly the problem on that team. And Bjerg's confidence was just shattered. I don't know why.
I mean, you remember this better than I do. 2016 Worlds where they were the powerhouse. What was the problem with that roster?
2016.
Yeah, that
when-
was the one where people
Oh,
were
when
calling them like a
TSM
top.
was?
Yeah, they were calling TSM a
It was
top 4 team at
everything.
Worlds.
It was everything. The whole team was terrible. I mean, Hanser was getting solo killed. The bot lane was losing. Mid lane was losing. Jungle was losing. There was nothing bright about it.
Okay, so
I mean, that was
that's not good.
the one where 2017 was basically the same way.
Okay,
And 2017 was when everybody was like, yeah, probably bringing in Sven is a good idea because this team is never going to win because they don't have the confidence. And I know like hindsight's 2020, so now we know that was a terrible decision. But at the moment, like it was legitimately everybody was like something has to change. And at that time TSM wasn't gonna it was double lift or Bjergsen. Which one are you picking? In 2017. You're not picking Bjergsen. Or like to get rid of Bjergsen. Like you're gonna keep the guy who's your franchise.
Yeah, I don't know who was performing better going into the 2018 offseason. Was it Bjergsen or double lift?
Well, Bjergsen played the whole year, and TSM won 2017 spring. With
Oh,
Wild
I
Turtle.
forgot that he took that time off. Yeah.
Yeah, so they felt like they could win without him, which obviously did not happen.
No.
TL built like a powerhouse, but you know,
I mean, even looking back
it's
at
kind of how
those
sports goes.
looking back at those TL years, 2018. I would argue 2018 was a good year for double lift individually, but like he got fucked at MSI by Ole benching himself. Worlds, I think double lift, if I recall correctly, double lift wasn't bad on TL, but he still had support problems. Pobelter was getting giga gapped at 2018 Worlds. 2019, they go 3-3 again. I don't think Jensen was a big problem. I don't quite remember what happened to 2019 Worlds. But
I have no idea for them. I think 2019 Worlds. Can't remember what I was doing, but it was something I did not pay much attention because I was also like accepting
that, yeah.
TSM was basically done for. That was a terrible. Wasn't that the Clutch gaming year, or was that the year before?
That was the Clutch gaming year. Or no.
Yeah, I think that's why I
no.
didn't.
The year 2018 C9 beat you guys, I think. Because C9 was the third seed that went through play-ins to then go further on. And then 2019 was Clutch. Yeah, I guess it would have been Clutch beating you guys. Because I know
Yeah,
Clutch
I'm
beat
pretty
CLG
sure
in
that
the
year-
third place series, but I'm not sure if they... Yeah, they would have had to beat you there because you had enough points to get to the gauntlet because you were second in spring in 2019. But you had like the Grig, Acadian, Spica shit happening all at the same time.
I'm pretty sure that year I like barely watched Worlds because I was like, well, that sucks, and I knew NA wasn't going to do anything really like usual, so I was like, I don't know, I'll watch the later it goes. But I think I still watched, obviously. I just didn't pay as close attention.
How you feel about FlyQuest?
And
HLE.
I don't feel terrible. I think it's fine. But it really depends on Masu Busio. They are the bright spot, and they have to keep up. I do worry a lot about Quad. Because he is facing one of the better, I mean, probably best mid laners in the world.
Especially
point,
on this patch. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if Quad can handle that heat, but this is a really good match, I think, to see where their actual ceiling is.
Yeah.
Like, this is really good for them to figure that out. I think Inspired can match Peanut, like, if he doesn't choke.
Yeah.
Inspired's mind can match Peanut's mind. And
I'm-
Peanut's not going to do something mechanically out of this world. He's just so much smarter than everybody.
I just worry about top lane, if I'm being honest. I mean, assuming that Masu and Busio perform at their normal level, then like they'll be fine in lane.
Yeah.
Busio could be a bit of an issue outside of that. But like,
Yeah.
did
Bwipo's
Bwipo...
going through he's going through like a reverse renaissance. This is like his Black Plague. And I don't know what's going on with him, but it's tough to watch sometimes. Like, I know a lot of
dude.
people in our Discord or your Discord like him. So our group is very like, he had a vision there. But sometimes I'm sitting there like, I don't know if he had a vision there. And even now people are like starting, like, this Discord loves him. And they're starting to come around and be like, that wasn't good. And when the people who love him are like, that's not good. It's like, okay, bro.
Then
is
you've,
really
you've officially
struggling.
lost the plot at that point.
Yeah, it's bad. It's just tough. Like, he's doing some strange things. I mean,
I
don't know. Good for him that he's trying.
I mean, the Renekton
He's-
was living on the edge in their win,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm thinking like, he ain't gonna get away with that against HLE.
No, and he's admitting, he has been, at least he admits quickly when he's wrong or when what he's doing isn't up to standard. So he's at least admitting that, and you would hope he then fixes it.
But it seems like a consistent issue. Did you see the clip of him dying in a Champions Queue game yesterday?
Yes. That was tough.
That to
Well,
me, I
that
think
was
is like
tough.
the perfect encapsulation of what is going on with Bwipo right now. Where it's like he thinks like it'd be like somebody that like you shouldn't touch a hot stove because it's going to burn your hand. But what happens if somebody's burned their hand enough to the point where they can't feel pain? Then when you touch the stove, it's still hot, but it's not registering that it's hot. It's like he's burnt in his brain the ability to say, like, this might not be the best thing to do in this moment, which he's known historically. But, like, now, like that filter, that gauge is like gone for whatever reason. And I don't get it.
They're lucky that it's only year one of this roster. So no changes have to happen or will happen. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And they have time to figure it out. I mean, I do think he has to figure something out, or it's pretty much doomed for them. Like, it's all on him, kind of,
Yeah.
which is like sucks to say, and you don't want to crush a guy's confidence, and they shouldn't be telling him this. But to everybody else, it's very obvious he is the only reason that they're struggling so bad.
I mean, it could be other things, but at least from like the public looking in, that's all we got. And like we're looking at that.
In
You look at
games,
that,
yeah,
and
what he's
you look at
doing
that, and
is
you look
so
at quad, and
cool.
it's like, what's going
Mm-hmm.
on? Like,
I mean, the
uh,
thing is, though, he might maybe like being in an actual stadium will kind of
that's what I'm wondering.
relock him in.
Because like you look at the difference of how he played in the winners final in the LCS studio versus how he played when he was on stage in front of people, night and day
Yeah.
difference. Absolute night and day difference. And I want to see them get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but
Because even
it's
Inspired said it's boring.
yeah. This shit sucks. If Swiss Stage is ever in front of 300 people ever again, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like legitimately lose my shit. This is terrible.
Yeah.
Peak
not
viewership,
good.
great, good for you, Riot. Like, congrats. Get us. How about you give us like 1,000 more people in that fucking arena? Holy shit!
Yeah,
I
it
look-
looks pretty bad.
I just look back at the group stage or the Swiss stage of like last year, group stage of 2022, and it's just like, dude, it is so crushing.
Is
to
it night
see.
and day?
Oh, dude, don't you got to go back and rewatch the top esports GAM match from group
Mhm.
stage. Fucking insane.
tough.
Absolutely insane. And it's like we've had games like that at this Worlds. We've had incredible moments, incredible swings. That's like you are expecting this loud crowd pop, and it doesn't come. Now it's going to be great in quarters and semis when we're in France, obviously,
Mhm.
and like Worlds finals will be sold out, so that'll be fantastic.
Wait, we're still in. The rest of it is still in Germany, in studio.
For Swiss.
They're still in studio for this. I thought I
Yeah.
thought like week 2 they're going to an actual stadium. Bro, they're doing the whole thing in this studio. I thought when series started, like real series started, they were going to a stadium. Bro, that's so sad. What? Wait, there's no chance. We're so screwed. Buffo's never locking in. Dude, there's no way. The whole thing. Why would you leave the whole thing in this? These are elimination series. Like, I get the first 2 could be in the studio. I got that, you know what I mean? Because it's like, whatever. These teams losing are probably nobodies that we all expected to lose. But when the real teams start getting knocked out, there should be a crowd. Oh, man.
That was
Man,
great.
my ignorance was so bliss.
I just got to sit back and watch you experience my 5 stages of grief
Yeah.
all in 1 minute clip. Great.
That was bad. Oh man, I thought it was studio for that, and then like a stadium in Germany for the rest. When they were saying like we'll see you in Berlin again, I was like, oh yeah, they're moving to like a bigger venue for the rest of this. Whatever, that's good.
Nope.
Okay,
Next 4
well,
days
that's
are
good.
still in the LEC studio, and then we go to France. 7,000
That's
people.
so dumb, but whatever.
To put it into context,
mean,
so people
that's
understand. World semifinals from 2022 What do you think the capacity was down in Atlanta?
Oh, in
Semifinals,
Atlanta?
not even finals. Semis.
What stadium did they use even? I'm gonna go like 10K?
20.
20. So they were in what, the or not the Falcons,
State
the
Farm Arena.
Hawks?
Yep. Let me like
Are they the Hawks? Yeah, they're Hawks.
I will share my screen and put you up here as well. Worlds Semis 2022 T1. Okay, just so that this is like
Bro, we
fully-
need to start putting the players in a baseball stadiums.
I mean, this time of
That
year you
looks
can't
sick.
though.
I know. 'cause they're-
Hurricane season around here combined with everything else, like just let me scooch forward just a little bit.
Could you imagine? I know this is like awful League of Legends, but man, putting League of Legends in Death Valley in August, like 4 p.m. start, just put them under a shade tent.
Look at this.
You're sweating your balls off playing some League. 100,000 people, how cool that'd be.
So people looking at the screen right now, that is 20. I need to go back real quick. See, do they have the upper sections? I can't tell if people are in the upper decks. I think they are.
It doesn't really look like it.
You'll be able to see
can't
on
tell
the
though.
you'll be able to see on the player walkouts. Yeah, there's definitely people up there.
Was Worlds 1?
2022.
Okay. Well, that's unlucky.
I mean, that section's roped off there for sure.
I know Dash was there in 2022.
Yep.
I don't remember him being around, so
That was his final year.
recently.
But that is triple the size of what we're getting for quarters and semis.
Gosh, what a series. That series was crazy, bro.
It was absolutely okay. This is the perfect view. Yeah, look at that. There's people all on the upper side, all on the bottom. 20,000 people in that stadium. We are getting a third of that for this year's quarters and semis. That's unacceptable. That's literally unacceptable. You have more
Wait,
people.
how big's France?
7,000 for the Adidas Arena in Paris.
Ew.
That's not saying it's not going to be a great environment. It still will be, obviously. European fans, especially French fans, turn out. But like, there's no reason why you couldn't do this for quarters and semis, and then also have finals in a massive arena as well.
Yeah.
If we can do this in North America, you can definitely do it there. It's tragic. And the worst part is like I want to come out here and just brag to people being like, yeah, like we're the best region in the world when it comes to hosting events. Nobody shows up like we do when it comes to this shit. But like I can't in good conscience say that because it's not on the people of Europe. It is entirely on Riot for making this boneheaded decision to do this. And if you can't monetize 20,000 people in an arena, that's on you. You got 20,000 people in a fucking arena and you're telling me you can't make your money back? Are you serious?
Yeah, that's pretty bad if they can't.
Like, what?
That is pretty bad. I mean, at this point, too, League fans are old enough they can pay for the event. I know, didn't they struggle to sell out the LCS arena?
Yeah, but the LCS is the
Or
LCS.
LCS
Like,
finals.
it's different from international events. For international events, people will travel. People will show up.
Yeah. I just was thinking that one because it was like that one was location too.
Yeah,
So
that was in
thinking
LA.
about it, it's like I mean, I don't know how the other two did when they came over here last year. if they were any good. I know the North Carolina one was kind of
Oh no, North Carolina one was
screwed
tragic,
over.
and then the Jersey
Well, that
one,
was screwed.
yeah, and then the Jersey one.
Jersey one
I'll be
was
honest
good.
with you, it wasn't. It was maybe 50%,
Oof.
and they kept the full arena open for that one for some dumb reason. It's like I don't get why you can't. For the LCS, you should never be going to anywhere with a capacity above like 7,000 to 8,000 ever again.
Mhm.
Ever should not.
Well,
Like,
YouTube Theater was 6, right?
yeah, which I think is ultimately like fine. We didn't sell that out. I blame that mostly on being in LA personally, but I think you pick like a 5,000 seat place anywhere else in the US and we're fine. But
Yeah, I mean, just pick a 3,000 seat arena in Chicago. Most people can get to Chicago in America.
yeah,
America.
it doesn't have to be where the Blackhawks play. It doesn't have to be at the United Center. It can just
Yeah, it can
be
be a
at,
theater.
it can. I mean, even if you want like a circular setup, look at colleges. Colleges typically have
True.
like 7,000 to 8,000. Like how many does Cameron Indoor seat?
Oh, Cameron Indoor is like 13.
13. I mean, you compare that to where they held.
Probably less than that. I think that's a lie. I don't remember. I've been in there once. That was back when they would just let you walk into a stadium. When I was in middle school, my dad and I went to Duke on a day they weren't playing and asked if we could just walk around Cameron Indoor, and they said, sure. And we just walked in, and my dad took a photo of me sitting on the benches.
When they had finals in Raleigh, North Carolina, they put it in a stadium with 21,000 seats. Cameron Indoor has 9,300.
There you go.
That'd be so much better.
They're
So
never
much
getting
better.
Cameron Indoor, bro. Duke's not letting them come in there.
I know they wouldn't. I'm not like I'm not under any
Carolina
illusion that
would
it
let them go to the Dean
To
Dome.
Dean
I
Dome?
bet.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But like
Yeah.
that's where you should be. You should be looking at the colleges. You shouldn't be looking at the pros at this point. I mean, we've been on that way
Yeah,
for a long
and-
time, but
But yeah, and you build those colleges up to like league better, but that's a whole
Yeah,
other
whole
argument.
whole
that we've
different
talked
thing.
About. But yeah, the Worlds. I wish Worlds had a bigger arena. I know it is what it is at this point, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I think the good thing about this Worlds is that NA is so far the other two teams are playing decent.
Yeah.
I know what 100 Thieves did was
Eh,
pretty tough.
eh.
It's not tough for you guys. I know you guys will get over it, but
I'm
I'm
fine.
sitting here watching it and I'm like, dude, we can't. Like, we've been Florida stating for a while now,
Whoa.
and we need to get
Whoa
out
now.
of there.
Whoa now. Florida State's in the fucking gutter. Okay. That's a whole that like if you're talking about that, that's Mad Lions. Okay.
All right.
I will not take that title.
No, I'm saying like all of NA
Yeah.
has been Florida stating. Like we're kind of screwing ourselves here. Like Florida State's kind of getting past the level of losing to the point where it like sets you back.
Yeah.
Like NA did that for a while, so now it's nice to see us kind of with no expectations maybe have a chance. I mean, I guess last year NRG got out, but that was probably the most like now that I'm not an NRG fan, I can say this honestly, and I can say I don't think any of us thought NRG was going to do anything else after getting out of that.
No.
Realistically,
No,
like,
whereas these
we
two
were all
teams
kind
like
of shocked it happened.
I feel like if these two teams get out, like they have the potential to cause an upset.
Mhm.
Depends. Was it how big of heat was it in? Probably should have referred. Then it should be fine. Yeah.
Even with the salmon?
Maybe not the salmon, but everything else. I don't know. It's on you.
I didn't get a chance to eat the bowl.
I know.
Hi guys.
Emily says hi.
Hi.
Uh-oh.
What's going on?
Kind of what Emily's doing right now looks like an average riot
your podcast going?
meeting.
Whenever I'm done. I don't know.
What's up, bitches? Anyone saying hi to me? Hi! Everyone's saying hi to me, baby.
Wait, is this actually a live
up,
look in
Paul?
how Riot picks stadiums?
What's he say?
What's up?
What's he say?
What?
What's he say?
Put this in your left ear.
What's up, Paul? How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say hi.
Oh, it's fine.
Emily, get the vacuum. I think David already vacuumed tonight, didn't you?
I did.
Did you vacuum tonight?
Yep.
Look at that. I don't even have to do it. That look like what?
No, that's a League of Legends comment.
Aw, get the vacuum. I will. Just to,
No.
I'm gonna run it in here just. Oh, I'm gonna run it in here literally during the podcast just to annoy David. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. All right. Yes, the quarterly roast of David is incoming. I want vacuum content. I want vacuum content.
Don't vacuum. If you
I
give in to them,
won't. I won't.
you have to look like a boss girl.
Paul.
Boss girls don't vacuum. They make their husbands do it.
Yeah, he did earlier. I did. I asked him earlier. But Paul, you see what the people are asking for. You see what they want. They're calling for vacuum
Yeah,
content.
this
What
is-
do you want from me?
This is a LCS podcast. Nobody gets what they
And
want.
vacuums go with
Everyone
us.
loses. We all lose. That's kind of how it works.
All right, I'll leave you guys alone. Bye, guys. Nice to see you. Oh, David, you suck. Love you. You suck. You suck.
Solid.
So does your game.
Solid.
Luna, go get your mom. Go get her. Have her give you a carrot. She's gonna give you a carrot. Go get her.
No, I won't.
Oh my god. Anyways, Jesus Christ. I'm Pluto. Thank you for the follow. Where were we? Something about Worlds?
Basically how LCS, this is like one of the more competitive worlds we've looked
Oh yeah.
in theory.
Yeah.
But so far it might not be showing
I mean,
results.
the thing is, like, we have taken care of the teams that we need to take care of. Like
Well,
FlyQuest hasn't lost to.
Most of us have.
Okay, shut up. Okay. Besides that, and the team that we let through anyways as a result of that's out of the tournament, so we're fine. Anyways, Team Liquid finished the job for us. I don't know. I'm weirdly optimistic about this for some reason. Like we're in the exact same spot as we were last year. Like going into last year, it was C9 versus Fnatic, the first match coming out to get up to that 2-2 stage, and then it was NRG G2. All right. And C9 did fucking nothing. Whereas, like, we have faith that Team Liquid will be able to bounce back. Team Liquid is beat Pain, which, great, they got the easy one out of the way. FlyQuest, their loss was to an Asian team, but they've won every game that they were supposed to other than that. It's not like they fumbled there. So it's like, all we have to do is just get over that hump of beating, like, that third, fourth seed from Korea or China. That's it.
TL has had gold leads.
Yeah, and that's
Which is,
if TL didn't have
more
any
than
signs of like being able to
usually
fight,
don't.
then it might be a problem. Like C9, none of us believed that they stood a chance last year. They weren't getting gold leads. They weren't doing shit. Okay, they sucked, plain and simple. Whereas like now, it's like you look at Team Liquid, it's like okay, they cleaned that shit up. They were close against LNG. They were close against DK.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
TL?
DK. Yeah, who was their second
No,
opponent?
it
It was a
LNG and Weibo.
Weibo. That's who it was. Yeah.
Which
It's
I
still-
will say, looking at the bracket, it does worry me about TL. They could be in for some tough future series. The teams left at this point. I know they can't look at that and they can't think that way.
No.
We need them to just like be very confident.
And that's all you can do. Like the worst thing you can do in this moment is like try and focus on anybody else. Just focus on yourself, the game plans that you have, and go with it. And if it's enough, it'll be enough. Like you will prove that we are able to get out. What I just don't want to see is I don't want to see us playing scared.
True. That is fair.
We have good, like TL has good enough macro to get leads. FlyQuest, I think their game plan clearly is going to be to fall behind a little bit and draft for scaling and be able to win team fights later on. And I think that's perfectly fine. I'm a little bit worried about how big of a deficit they'll give up against Hanwha Life. But if you can keep it to 4K, winnable. Like winnable. Like put yourself in the position to win it. And if you don't win it from there, fine. But like I at least want to see you giving yourself chances. And I think both teams can do that.
They can.
We're in best of threes now. So like your mental and your resiliency will mean a lot. I think for FlyQuest that arguably means more than for TL, weirdly enough. I feel like TL has more mental issues than FlyQuest does, for whatever reason.
TL has more mental.
Mm-hmm. I think TL
I
when they
agree with
get
that.
down on themselves, they get a little bit hard on themselves. And like you just got to be able to like
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you just got to be able to tune that shit out. Whereas like FlyQuest, like if they lose a game, I have full faith that like Inspired and Blippo are going to go in the back and be like, "Look, this is what we're doing game 2. Fuck that game. It's in the past. You fucked up. We're fixing it. Game 2." Whereas TL's like, "I cannot believe I did this."
That's true. I mean, that's 100% true. Their confidence seems a little broke, but
they'll get it back.
I mean, yeah, if you beat Gam here with a solid 2-0,
Lot
I
of
think you're
confidence.
like
yeah.
going into the next series really good.
And that's what you want.
If it's a close 2-0, it's not terrible, but it's definitely like I don't think they can win the next.
Even then, it's like, I mean, think about the perception of like 100 Thieves versus, Cloud9. We barely beat Dig, and people thought we were going to get trounced, and then we ended up winning against C9. You could see a similar thing here where we barely scratch off GAM, and then we end up playing like a BLG with a roster swap who is struggling, and then just look clean against them. You elevate yourself to the level of your opponent, and you just play better.
Someone who's spiraling.
Yeah.
Into somebody who plays up to the level of the opponent, that would make sense. Although it would be sad to see BLG fall out this early, but
I mean, if they're struggling,
for
though,
NA
then you
to
don't
get
want
out. That's good.
Yeah, and if they're struggling, look, they shouldn't be in the next stage anyways. It's like if you can't win a best of 3 over TL, you're not going to win a best of 5 over any of the other teams. Like,
yeah, that's true.
That's just like we're not at that. We're not in the old group stage. We're like, you can fluke out some best of 1 wins, and it was like, oh well, in best of 5s they would have been better. It's like if you can't win a best of 3 against North America or Europe, you're not going to win a best of 5 against T1, LNG, and that crew.
And by then they'll have played plenty of games.
Would you want to draw T1? Would you want either of our teams to draw T1 in a qualification series?
No. Not really, no.
Like in a world where
I'd rather, this is gonna sound weird because I know they beat them, but I would rather have T1 over BLG.
Really?
Yes, because I think T1 makes more like mental mistakes than BLG, and I think T1 like they can hand stiff you really well, but I think BLG can like really hand stiff you, and if they're playing like if they figure it out again or they feel confident like they can just curb stomp you, they can really go off on you. And like that game 1 from BLG can be like completely mental breaking. That's what worries me. Like BLG is not a joke when they figure it out. And Ben, when he's like playing in form, could you imagine Impact versus Ben right now? I mean, I know Zeus isn't a ton better, but Zeus at least randomly ends, and that helps.
Yeah, I don't know. I think either of them are scary. And like going into that draw, like you're praying
they're
to
both
God.
scary, yeah.
You're praying to God.
I don't want either.
For TL, because it's what? Fnatic versus Weibo?
Yeah, you can't play Weibo, so that's
fine. FlyQuest can't play Weibo, but TL can.
No, TL can't play Weibo. TL played Weibo.
Oh, who did FlyQuest lose to?
FlyQuest lost to. I can go back
Was
and
it
look really
DK?
quick. Fly lost to. Yeah, DK.
Oh, okay. I mean, well, if you're thinking about it, if G2 can pull off the upset, great. I mean, good for them. Like in order of preference of teams that you'd rather play against in terms of like all the favorites winning. DK, who's DK going up against in the upper bracket? Top?
DK's going up
Top.
against Top.
So
It's not easy, bro.
Top's gonna beat him. So like if you're picking between
Oh, maybe.
assuming G2 pulls off the upset, okay, out of DK, Weibo, T1, BLG, T1, DK, BLG, Weibo. Yeah. It'd be the four of them and TL and FlyQuest. Or you replace T1
You're
with
hoping
G2.
TL gets DK, and you're hoping FlyQuest
It's
gets
Weibo.
Weibo,
Yeah.
right?
But the problem then is BLG can't play T1.
Yeah, so that can't even happen.
Oh, I mean it could, but like T1, the other team
honestly,
the other team
I
in that is,
kinda-
oh wait, no, yeah, you're right.
I would just be mortified for them to play G2 as well, because I think G2 like matches up too well.
Yeah.
With NA. The problem for T1 is that while I think they're very locked in right now and they're playing very good League, and I'm not calling them bad by saying I'd rather play them than some others, it's more that T1 is so random. Like right now, they can play up or down really, really heavily. And you kind of want to be able to try to throw that at them, which is another argument to play BLG too. Like I don't think it's impossible to beat them. The issue is just when BLG fixes it, because there's gonna be a point more than likely they fix what's going on. Now playing Faker in an elimination match in Worlds is not fun.
Well, I mean, in the scenario where, again, this is all hypothetical under the assumption that G2 wins, you pretty much have to but you have to pair up TL or FlyQuest against BLG.
It's sacrifice. You might as well call it a sacrifice.
I mean, you have to put one of them against them because top or T1 can't play BLG. Assuming top beats DK, is DK Weibo, and G2 couldn't play Weibo either. If that, yeah, basically one of the North American teams would have to go against BLG, and the other one can take their pick of either DK or Weibo depending on who they already played or didn't.
Yeah.
If anything, I think that's not a bad draw though, in my opinion. If you put TL against BLG and FlyQuest against Weibo.
I would rather play T1 or G2 than BLG. I just don't want to touch BLG.
I don't want to touch T1. T1 with everything on the line.
I know they're scary. It's just they've been beatable lately.
I mean, I could see a world where it's like TL versus G2 and then FlyQuest versus FlyQuest against Weibo.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fine. Because then you guarantee at least one Western team out no matter what. And FlyQuest has the chance to earn their shit.
Yeah.
But
who did T1 even lose to?
They lost to they beat BLG. They lost to, it was that first round. They lost to Top.
Oh, Top.
Yeah. So T1 also can't play Top if in the case that Top loses to DK.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be fucking interesting.
It's going to be very interesting. It's worrying.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, to say the least.
I mean, it's all going to be fun.
The next 4 days is like some of the most fun League of Legends in the world.
The G2 T1 series, though, I don't know. Oh, hi, Chris.
Bro, what if
want to avoid... I don't know, I want to avoid G2.
What if PSG pulls off the upset?
I'd be very sad, but that would be very good for NA.
I think it'd be very good for League of Legends as a whole if PSG is able to pull it off.
Really? The Chinese 1 seed losing to PCS?
I don't think they're the Chinese 1 seed anymore. I think like I get coming into it they were, but like if we're talking like dynamic rankings in the tournament, it's clearly LNG 1 top 2 for China, and then BLG 3.
I don't think BLG loses to a Taiwanese team.
They nearly got beat earlier in the year.
There's too much. All I'll say is this: there's too much national pride on the line for BLG to blow that one.
Why are you guys never mentioning FlyQuest TL the only way for NA to get out? Because that's fucking dumb. And no, we can get out on our own merit. So no,
I'd rather not. I'd rather them not play each other.
Same. I don't want them to play. I know. I saw a lot of people like, cheering for that, and I'm like, nobody fucking wants that. I saw Peter Dunn replied to one of my tweets, being like, "What do you mean? That's like one of the best case scenarios." So I'm like, "This is like, no, it's not fucking fun. Like, who wants to see the domestic rematches to fucking move on? No thanks. I'm good."
You don't want for a region that really needs to see some teams get out. You really don't want region killing. Like, yes, it guarantees the region out of Swiss, which is a good thing in theory, but is it really good if everybody can just say that we team killed to get our way out? That's like not really optimal.
Paul, you trying to make me some motherfucking money?
Why?
Chris said if you twerk on camera, he'll give 10 gifted subs and Healy will match. I'll split the money with you 50-50.
I'm not twerking on camera.
I'll split the money with you 50-50.
I don't know if he'll pay up, to be honest.
I'll literally look at my Twitch earnings at the end of the month and pay you half.
No, not you. I don't think he really wants me to do that.
Alright.
I'm not doing that.
Alright.
I'm worth more than 20 gifted subs.
Are we? You sold your body to the U.S. government. I don't know if that's a valid claim.
It's a fair point. Well, to be fair, I sold my life, and that was a different time in life, and I was very okay with certain outcomes. Things have changed. Things have changed.
All right. I want to end this show on this note. On a very, very, very positive note. I held off on it till the end. I'm surprised that I did. I thought I was going to crack and make it the first topic that we talked about. We got our first public confirmation of 100 Thieves staying in the LCS.
Oh, from who?
100 Thieves themselves on Twitter.
Oh.
They tweeted out on the main account that the two rosters that they cooked for Call of Duty and for Valorant are freaking great. And somebody put in the replies of that tweet, LOL team next, I hope. And they said, we're cooking, trust.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so are they spending money?
Maybe that budget approval did include League of Legends.
That's way bigger news than them even staying. They're spending money. That's kind of crazy.
I know. Well, I mean, you don't have to spend a ton of money. The budgets are dropping for everybody, but like, it looks like.
Yeah, but I just mean that's kind of wild that 100 Thieves is like going all in.
And Jungle Juice tweeted out after that. His tweet was, quote, excited for these guys, talking about the Valorant team, excited for these guys to run it back. But he ends the tweet saying, 100 Thieves Esports is on the come up. Buckle in.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I'm telling you, if you need a new home, brother.
I already was thinking about it. I'm thinking about it pretty deeply.
Somebody asked me in the 100 Thieves Discord 2 days ago, or yesterday, I think. They said, are you going to convince Paul to be a 100 Thieves fan? And
somebody in that Discord asked about
they directly asked, am I going to convince you to be a 100 Thieves fan? And my response to them was, I know how I would want to handle this situation, and that is I would not want pressure to join anything or do anything. I would want the decision to come from my own heart. So I'm not gonna put any pressure on anything. Like me naturally acting how I am will already be enough. I don't have to say or do anything. That if you're gonna choose it, you would choose it naturally. If you're not, you're not. And you know whether we're sports fans. You know whether that connection is there or not, and whether you're gonna be able to buy into the brand. But like that's gonna have to be like a you decision whenever the time comes. But I'm not putting any pressure on it. I will just be here to catch you.
The Falcon team is just calling my name.
Did you just say River Team Falcon team?
No, the rumored Team Falcon.
Geez. You really want that Saudi money, really?
Slot. I don't know. It's just calling to me, you know. Something about it.
Calling to you, buying you, or is it because again, sold body to government, therefore body belongs to Saudi Arabia? That
I mean, there's just something deep in my mind that keeps telling me, you go there, they're gonna take you somewhere good. I don't know what it is. It's just, I guess it's the thought of being a fan of a team that spends just copious amounts of money that falls to you. Could you imagine though actually trying to be a fan of them? How awkward it would be.
I can't imagine. I'm like, it's gonna be so much fun poking the bear on Twitter when that happens.
How do you actually become a fan of them? In NA, my bad. I was stuttering pretty bad there. But in NA, how do you become a fan of that? Because you're just sitting there going, I mean, this team literally has very little to do with North American League. I mean, we're a melting pot, but are we really that melting pot?
No.
That we're gonna because we're talking about, there's some. I mean, the way they build soccer stadiums out there, it's a different breed. It's a different breed.
But the thing is, we're not talking about an LMQ team. We're talking about a Saudi Arabian run org that comes in and has 3 North American players. It ain't the same. It's not the same as our Call of Duty team where they just plugged 4 Saudi Arabian players into the league and we're like, this is our team, and everybody's looking at it like, who invited the 3rd graders to high school prom?
It's gonna be weird. I mean, I don't even think their team would be that good because I think they would import Middle Eastern
probably
players, because that seems to be what they're doing in other leagues.
Yeah.
And if they did that, that team would just be awful. It'd be even easier to laugh. Pretty much. I mean, it'd be an interesting decision. I don't know.
So you're racist for laughing at the Saudi Arabian players coming into this league. Where's your sense of diversity and inclusion, sir?
Okay, I'm more probably laughing at the skill. Just saying. Probably the skill. Not just laughing at them for being Middle Eastern. And probably shouldn't have said not just.
But got him. Try and cancel
That's
me.
gonna be clipped. That's gonna be clipped. But it's like, I don't know. It's just, I could imagine going from NRG, where I talked to their owner on this podcast because you have insane ways of networking.
I didn't do shit. He just messaged me.
True.
Like, the thing is, I don't outreach much for this podcast, people. Like, just so everybody knows, like, all the guest slots of people coming on the show have all been people that reach out to me. And I mean, I'm sure I could reach out to more people and do more stuff. And I have a series coming out in December where I want to do a Road to the Americas and do a different breakdown of I want to do 4 different videos. One on what I call OPEX, the operating expenses, both the revenues and main expenses of the league and what it takes to run it. I want to do one on social media and content and have somebody I want to try and see if I can get Portillo on and talk to him about social media and going back and forth. And then I need to figure out I want to see if I can get a player to talk about the level of skill within the LCS, and just do And then maybe get like a Latin American guest to be like these are the newbie or like the Southern Conference, and like have a full episode that like introduces the Southern Conference of the Americas and our rivals, and insert a copious amount of Civil War memes into that. Okay, this is the Americas. The North hasn't lost yet, so
That's fair.
score 1 for that. We're the South. We're not racist. Well, ask that to half of Brazil.
What?
What?
What do you mean half of Brazil?
Not half.
Oh,
Just the group
I
that
was
might
like,
have.
is there something?
Just the group
I
that
don't
might have
know.
fled Germany after a certain period of time
Oh.
and housed themselves in Brazil.
Well, that was
Maybe.
Argentina, I thought.
Guess what? You're
you seen
all
X-Men?
of South America. So guess what? That didn't get
Oh,
that's in
true.
with
They
you.
are the Americas,
So,
aren't they?
You're the South Americas.
Yeah. I mean, come on,
Way down
X-Men,
south
dude.
in the
Know your
land
history.
down under.
Oh, no.
Rattlesnakes and alligators.
If
They want to be like, oh, we're the South. We got crazy. It's like, we have fucking Florida. We have
Yeah, we
Florida.
do. Wait, is that what Brazil's been saying? Have they
No,
been saying like?
No, I'm just gonna be stirring
I was
shit.
gonna say,
I'm
have they
just, I'm
been
just stirring
talking
shit.
trash already? I
No.
know they've been talking trash about our viewership, which I mean can't get you there. But they like, come on, we're like going like comparisons on country. You're really gonna come after the land that made McDonald's? Name anything in the world that's better culturally than McDonald's.
Let me see. USD to Argentinian peso is currently, I would get 974 Argentinian pesos for $1 US. If you think I'm gonna take your fucking region seriously when it comes to League of Legends, you're out of your mind. You could literally go down
Wait,
there.
what
with
is it to Brazil, though?
to US dollars to Brazilian reals? 5.6, so a little bit less.
All right, Brazil's keeping up with us.
Somewhat, but you can still walk down there with $100 bill, buy a pound of weed, and take one of their players back with you, and still walk out profitable.
Yeah,
It'll come in a garbage bag with a bunch of branches in it. The player might come in the bag too, but like,
oh no. Oh no. I mean, they have been watching football.
they have.
We'll give them that.
They have.
They watch American football.
Congrats. Brazil won the Tier 2 tournament. Woo. Last time I checked, we pushed their shit in just a few days ago. And that was our 2 seed. Okay? You caught us on a bad day, and you couldn't even take a game from us. Okay? What the fuck do you think you're going to do on a good day? Okay?
I'm curious about something now.
You better enjoy Carnival. Take some lube home that you can get from the street there and prepare yourself, because we're going to be giving you the same treatment.
You ready for interesting?
Oh no.
Interesting stat. I'm not done looking.
Oh boy.
Here's something. I'm just gonna read this little excerpt here. Brazil abolished slavery on May 13th, 1888, making it the last country in the Western Hemisphere to do so. So just remember that when they try to say stuff about us.
How many years ahead were we?
Oh, solid 23-ish.
Okay,
25-ish.
23. Great number in this country.
Somewhere in the early 1860s, I think we abolished slavery. Kinda.
Yeah, ish.
We kinda did. It took us another, 100 years to let them vote, but that's neither here nor there, I guess, in the grand scheme.
We're getting into messy territory. Oh god.
Yeah.
We're gonna end this podcast.
Well, we're becoming a history podcast.
Clearly, because we have to educate the entirety of the Southern Conference on what it's up.
True.
Anyways, this all started from me saying that I want to do a video learning about the Americas while poking fun at them. Don Jake has done a good job of doing interviews like that I'm inspired. So that's going to be it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, unless you guys have something else you want to say.
Not really. I mean, this was a doozy of a pod. I came in a little underprepared.
Hey, much like North America, underprepared but still over-delivered. All right.
True.
That's our motto. We'll be fine. And hopefully you're ready to get clipped for that reaction to realizing that it's all in Berlin still.
Yeah. I mean, that was a genuine react. Like, I actually thought this was like they were moving to a bigger place because they keep talking about a bigger stadium. And I was like, oh, yeah, we just moved to a bigger one after the first weekend. I thought it was cost cutting for the first weekend.
Nope.
So that was news to me. I thought, like, to be honest, I really don't fully like the way Swiss is talked about because I feel like the elimination feels completely different from the other Swiss parts. I get it all is still Swiss type format. It's just the amount of best of 1 and best of 3 happening and the different times they happen. And one day you have best of 3s, and the next day it's best of 1s again.
Yeah,
it's
I
also
think
weird.
what they need to do, like for next year, I would get rid of I would entirely get rid of best of 1s for that third round. Like that 1-1 group.
Yeah.
Now here's my thing. Okay, this is one final thing that we'll talk about beforehand. Before we go. Sorry.
It's my bad. I said something after saying I have nothing to say.
Because next year we are not going to have a play-in stage because of the reconstruction of everything, only having 5 regions that qualify in, having 4 from the top 2 and then 3 from the rest. Is that right? I don't know. Either way, what I would want to see is I want to see us, now that the Dota 2 International is falling off, I want us to steal their prime format.
What's their prime format? I've never seen it.
We have 6. If we have 17 teams, then we do a play-in game to determine which team gets in. 16 teams. You split them into 2 groups of 8. And you play a single round robin best of 1 amongst everybody in your group. Okay? And that purely determines seeding. Nobody's eliminated. The bottom 2 teams bottom team or bottom 2 teams get a single life. And then the top 6 teams all get seeded into a upper bracket of a double elimination full thing.
That would be really cool. I think Riot is just so hard stuck on the idea
They are.
that production is all that matters that they would try to say, like, we can't produce that many games. When in reality, people right now, I did notice a lot of people talking about how many more best of 1s can we take? And like the amount of games per day did feel overwhelming.
I think if it's only 2 days of that though, is it really that bad?
No, I'm saying that format would be nice because it gets it out of the way quick, and you don't have to televise every game. I know that's annoying to people's sponsors. Put them on a second stream.
I don't think that would ever happen. I think like you can chuck that out the window now.
They're psychos. But it would be, if it's 2 days, it's not as tough on the viewer. Like, the current format is so many games just over such a prolonged period of time. It's kind of brutal.
That's my big thing. So what I would want to see, I like having finals be like its only day and like giving the 2 finals teams like a ton of time to prep for that match and like having all the press and everything. Like I like the week before finals. I think that's fine. What I don't think we need is that massively long extended period of time between quarterfinals and semis and Swiss and quarters. That I don't think we need. Because think about it, Swiss gets done this Sunday, okay?
Yeah.
We have 3 days off, and then we play games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then we have 5 days off, and then we play 2 games. And then we have 6 days off, and then we play 1 game. You're talking 14 days break between those periods of time. I think you can condense that at least a little bit. Especially if you're going to do, like, here's my thing. I like finals being in its own unique location. I think that is like one of the best parts of Worlds is that it does travel. Put quarters and semis in the same spot if you want. I mean, I would personally rather have them different places. Like, what I would rather do is I'd rather have how Worlds 2022 did, where you have the Swiss stage and knockouts both in like a 5,000 seat arena. And like that earns you your chance to play on the bigger stage for semis. But if you want to do it the way they're doing it this year, fine. But like condense the days off between some of these stages.
Yeah. No, I get that. That makes more sense to me. You could condense the days, maybe.
I just want to eliminate some of those off days because, dude, like the gap between, like, the gap from the start of quarters to finals feels so extreme. So extreme.
It does. Honestly, it feels really bad, but I don't know. I'm just thinking it through it all because there's so much. And the format I think is good overall because it's a lot of variance and it feels like teams really do have to earn their way out and they have to lose like an actual high amount of games to really be eliminated.
Yep.
But it is rough to watch from the perspective of like, I don't know, there's just so much happening. And it feels like you're just constantly bogged down with so many games. You can't really do anything else if you have a life.
Yeah. I will say, so...
I guess that's the point.
That is kind of... Because it only happens for like a week out of the year. It's really like...
Yeah.
It's not all that bad. But I would say the two changes that I think they can make that would make a massive difference there. And that would also help alleviate some pain points. First and foremost, like I already said, the first two, the 1-0, or sorry, the 0-0 and then 1-0, 0-1 days, both best of ones. Fine with that. Everything else from that point on, best of threes. That way you know you have like 2 days of best of ones. It's these 2 days of chaos. And then you take a break after that. You do like 2 days of high intensity. You have a day off. And then you immediately go into best of threes. And then you just run all the best of threes all the way through. But then after that, the other change that I would make, why am I blanking on what I was going to say? Fuck. I completely forget.
I was just thinking about, what is it? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, I got mine. What I think is going to happen next year, and I'm calling it now because the biggest gripe that people still have is that these draws could, like, we've been lucky the last 2 years that it hasn't been bad, but we could really start fucking ourselves for these drafts or for these draws. I think starting next year, the global power rankings will be affecting draws. As in, every time we have a draw, each thing will be split into 2 different pools at minimum. So I think the first stage, I think you do have to do like the 4 pools of 4 different tiers of teams based on like ranking. Like your top 4 highest world ranked teams are in pool 1, and you step down from there. But then once you go to the 1-0 stage, there's 8 total teams. You split that up into 4 and 4. But the 4 highest ranked global power ranking teams in the top pool, and then the lowest 4 in the bottom 4. That way you eliminate the possibility of like top team playing top team in a scenario where it really shouldn't be happening. But then as you go on, like the 2-0, since there's only 4 teams, you just draw. The 0-2, you just draw. But if there's 6, so like if there's anything more than 4, you split it into 2 different tiers within the pool based on world rankings, and you guarantee that a top team will always draw a bottom team, but there's still randomness to it.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's still randomness. Like they like the randomness of it, and that's good. But I think like the whole point of introducing the global power rankings is to eventually get to that point where you can have better seeding for these events and these draws. Because quite honestly, there should be no world where FlyQuest ever plays T1 or T1. FlyQuest ever plays TL to get out of Swiss stage. That should never happen given the pool, given the teams that are in that pool.
Yeah.
It should always be one like us versus one of the top 3 teams in there.
Yeah, probably true.
I think that's now that they have the global power rankings, that's a very, very easy thing to implement.
Yeah, it is.
And it
really
alleviates the
is.
pain points. It still causes drama because, like, you know, in this situation, all right, in the one we were talking about earlier, it would be FlyQuest, TL, and I think Weibo is lower ranked than DK. I think so. We'll put Weibo down below, and then it'd be top T1 DK. So as a FlyQuest or TL fan, you know you're getting top. You know you're getting T1. You know you're getting T1, BLG, or DK, no matter what. So like it's gonna be harder, but that's the point. Like you have to punch up if you want to get out.
See what you mean. I like that.
I think that makes everybody happy while still having randomness because we're all still going to be having our preference on whether you want to draw BLG or T1.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
And again, for those that are worried about like teams that beat whoever, like we're going to have more international events, and like the power rank or the global power rankings are very dynamic. Like they continuously update after every single game. So you will have the power rankings updated after or going into each draw for the results that had happened. There's a chance where 2 teams that are right next to each other, which I think G2 and T1 are right next to each other right now, like a win or a loss could flip seeding on where you end up in the next thing. But anything else before we close out here?
No,
we extended
I'm
that a long time. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll catch you after Swiss stage is done. Hopefully we have North American teams out. Praying to God. Fingers crossed.
I think we'll get one out at least.
I'm saying 2. I'm hopeful.
You're saying 2.
I'm saying 2.
What's the you need that one guy back who tells us the North American odds to get out of groups.
Yeah, no thanks. I like my 100% Hopium odds. Those are the ones that I'll take. Thanks for tuning in.